Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for those of you who have recently decided to come and join up here, and also a very special thank you to the people that have been with me for a very long time, some of you since way back in the beginning. So in this video I would like to talk about bullying, how to deal with bullies, and I'm going to use in reference, in my opinion, the latest court case with Samantha Markle and Meghan Markle. So my name is Emma, I'm a qualified therapist and trained life coach, and if you'd like to join me in these videos where hopefully you will get some tips and tools to help you navigate life, where I bring in celebrity issues to kind of, I suppose, help do that. And at the moment it does seem to be mainly Harry and Meghan because, well, for psychologists and people in this field, there's just so much to unpick there. So for those of you who know by now, grab your drink of choice, whether it be tea, whether it be coffee, whether it be like me, I love my cherries and berries. But today I'm being good and I'm drinking water. And I will talk a little bit about the end about cherries and berries because so many keep asking me, what is cherries and berries? So I will be doing that. Maybe you like a cold glass of milk, or maybe lemonade, or maybe you are at that time where you want to add a little something to your drink of choice, because as the flag says behind me, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So let's grab that drink and dive right in. So let's talk about this particular court case. So I want to talk obviously about the bullying aspect of it, why I believe that this wasn't a surprise, the outcome, and yeah, I just feel really sorry for Samantha. I mean, I absolutely applaud the fact that she wanted to stand up for what she believed in, stand up for what's right even. And then, of course, this happens. I just, you know, the family have just gone through so much. And it must feel like to them that nobody's on their side. I mean, we are on their side. But, you know, in this instance, you know, this must be very sort of devastating for them. I don't know whether they can appeal this, and I genuinely don't know. I don't really know the law as such, especially in the United States. So if anyone has got any information on that, please drop that in the comments or even email me, because I would be interested to know. Yeah, so let me read this first, and then we'll go from there. So Samantha Markle's lawsuit, US confirmed in June 2022 that Meghan filed to dismiss the meritless lawsuit against her. But Judge Charlene Edwards Honeywell denied the request because Samantha filed an amended complaint. Meghan's lawyers then filed a second motion to dismiss. What is dismiss? What is that? What is that? What is dismiss? Honestly, I'm going to come out with my own dictionary, I think, of the words that people come up with when you have the menopause. Ridiculous. So anyway, while a jury trial was previously scheduled for October 2023, multiple outlets have now reported that obviously in March 2023, did I say March? Let me read that again. While a jury trial was previously scheduled for October 23, multiple outlets reported that in March 23, the case has been dismissed by a judge in Florida, who ruled in Meghan's favour. Are we surprised? Probably not. The judge declared that Meghan's 2001 CBS interview comments were opinions and therefore not defamatory. Samantha's claims about 2020's Finding Freedom was also dismissed because Meghan was not the author. Omid Scobie and Carolyn Duran wrote the book. So I think it's the thing is it's almost as if they're really literally picking this apart in a sense, because okay, yes, to a degree. This could be seen as the interview with Oprah was opinion. But what's interesting is how we're all attacked for our opinion. We don't believe Meghan and Harry, we're racist. We don't believe the situation with the children, we're racist, or we're conspiracy theorists, or whatever it is. But these are our opinions, right? So why are we attacked for our opinions? But yet when Meghan Markle gives an opinion, which is actually not true, and the way she worded it very much did state that she grew up as an only child, even though she tagged on that little bit at the end where she added that she hadn't seen Samantha since for however many years. That's not opinion, that's fact. That was a lie. Also, it's fact that Meghan Markle did have influence with the Finding Freedom book. She openly admitted that after lying in court. So is it any wonder that for the most part, many of us kind of think, what is the point of fighting people like this? Because it seems that truth doesn't matter. Truth is a little grey area now. It's not, truth is based on facts, evidence. Truth is now opinion. Truth is now feelings. So, like I say, we get attacked for our feelings, our version of what we believe to be true, which is based upon opinions. Every single thing I do in these videos is based upon either my professional or personal opinion, and some things obviously are factually true because there is evidence. However, that still isn't enough to stop a lot of us being attacked, vilified, bullied, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't enough to stop Samantha Markle being bullied, attacked, vilified, affected, her whole family affected by the things that were happening. You could argue the fact that when she's come on and done interviews that she's talked about how she feels or how Thomas feels, the fact that they've spoken about having that Thomas was very, very ill and Meghan wasn't bothered. They were attacked for that. When Thomas decided to do this alleged pap shot where he wanted to improve his image, he was attacked for that. But that was what he wanted to do. He wanted to, bless his little heart, boost his image for his daughter. Didn't matter that they were being thrown to the wolves of the media. There was no protection for them. That didn't stop the onslaught of what happened. It hasn't stopped how this has affected their mental health. But apparently Meghan's feelings are allowed. And she's allowed to say that she didn't grow up with any siblings, or Samantha Markle changed her name when she got with Harry, when that was an actual lie. That's not an opinion. That is something she stated. That's a lie. But here we are again. And so what do we do? What do we do when we are faced with situations like this? What do we do when we're faced with somebody that is just so hell-bent on bullying? And because, this whole thing, this whole, in a sense, persona that Meghan and even Harry have concocted of, we support people, I'm a feminist. You're a feminist unless it's women that go against you. You're a feminist unless your sister speaks out against you and tries to prove that you're lying about the way that you said that you almost were brought up in poverty and you had to, dig your way out of the gutter in a sense and pave your way to stardom. This is in Meghan's eyes, not how I see it. Lies. The things that she's told to various people, lies. The way that they have portrayed their own families, both sides, lies. And yet again, here we are, You know, so what if you're in a situation, albeit that theirs is very much in the public eye, you know, what do you do? Because your instincts to fight somebody that is bullying you, that's okay to have those instincts. It's okay to want to stand up for yourself. And you can understand now, looking at something like this, why some people go, I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother standing up for myself. I'm not going to bother fighting back. Because what's the point? What's the point of going to the police when the police do nothing? What's the point of doing a court case like this when the outcome is utterly ridiculous, in my opinion? If this had happened in anywhere else, would the outcome have been different? If it was anybody else, would the outcome have been different? Who knows? But the fact of the matter is, she was affected by what happened. The whole family were. And the reason I wonder is, the unfortunate thing is, in my opinion, I wonder if one of the reasons why it would never have seen the light of day was because she was bringing Harry into this. And I wonder if it's because of the fact that in a sense that Harry is the royal family, you know, albeit that we kind of maybe wish he wasn't, but he is. You know, what would it be, the fact that because she wanted Harry to also be deposed, was that a reason why the judge threw it out? Again, we have to ask, are there people behind the scenes, like the fact that when Meghan Markle got away with lying in a court of law? She got away with that. Nobody else would, well, I say nobody else, us general public, if we'd have lied in a court of law, there's a reason why you swear on that and you don't do that. Everything you say in a court of law, based on your knowledge, is the truth and nothing but the truth. Well, that wasn't, but she got away with it. And here we are again, where she's kind of gone in this, you can't really attack someone for their opinion. Well, no offense, but stating that you grew up as an only child, stating that you haven't seen your sister for so many years when you actually have, stating that your sister only, that's talking about somebody, saying your sister only got her name Markle back when she got with Harry, which was a lie. That's not just opinion. I don't know. And so I think, like, when we refer to ourselves, when we say about standing up to bullies, I think there's a time when you can fight back. I think, like, for the most part, and I'm not talking physically here. I'm talking about if you want to stand up for yourself. If you're being bullied in relationships or friendships or family, I can understand why some people just don't bother, because the equivalent of this, in a sense, is when you're being bullied by family members and they then collectively get other people on side. And you then you're left kind of thinking, well, hang on a minute, I haven't done what they've said, or I haven't said what they've said. There is no proof, no evidence of anything being said, but they have gone around, because they want to portray themselves to be the victims, they have gone around collectively to get people on side. And the unfortunate then thing becomes that some people believe them. And this can be incredibly hurtful to somebody. If you are somebody that's been in this situation, I've been in this situation, and I'm sure many of you, I know that many of my clients have been in this situation, where you are left kind of going, what, huh? How can you believe that I would do something like this? Well, my answer to that would be, of course, you want to stand up for yourself. And there is nothing wrong with wanting to do that. There's nothing wrong with showing evidence or having a conversation with people and saying, look, I whatever they're saying, this isn't true. However, what I will also say is, unfortunately, in a lot of situations, if someone is going to believe the person that's doing the bullying, if you then speak out about it, try and give them your version, and hopefully they then would then see sense, which is the ideal outcome. If they don't, there is nothing you can do about that. And unfortunately, what I see time and time again is either people will back down, they will kind of then not fight anymore, and they will just, in a sense, kind of go along with what is being said about them, but they try to make things better because they wouldn't want to lose those family members, or they just say nothing, do nothing, and then distance themselves, or they continually argue, reason, justify, and they continually do this until it eats them up. And I see this many, many times. And again, what I would say to anyone that is going through something like this, give it one chance to say what it is that you want to say. Speak to the people that are doing the bullying if you can, to get them to stop and see sense, and see what they're doing is wrong. To the people that are wanting to believe them, show them your evidence or speak to them and have a conversation about it. If at that point the outcome is not the way you want it to be, step back. Now, this is not about letting it go, because I understand that when you're in those situations, it's very hard to let that hurt and pain go. Like I'd imagine for Samantha right now, it must be very hard for her to just be kind of like, oh, well, that's done. That didn't work. Okay. You know, she's possibly sitting there. I don't know. I'm not her, but she's possibly sitting there thinking, right, okay, what do we do next? And I want to keep fighting this. Or she just could be very low and very down. I generally don't know. I mean, I hope in a sense that she's certainly not feeling those things, because I wouldn't want that for anybody, but I don't know. So you go into yourself and you will do a lot of these type of behaviors. You'll beat yourself up. You'll wish that you've never said something. You'll even create yourself to be wrong, where you'll kind of go, oh, do you know, if I hadn't have said that, or if I hadn't have done that, even if it was something that you were passionate about or something you felt was right in that moment, even if it's standing up for yourself, you will then second guess that, and you'll go, you know what? Oh, I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have said it. Yes, you should. Yes, you should. But the problem you have is when that is rejected, it taps into something subconsciously. And so then what you will then do is then you'll then potentially put up with behavior, because the outcome is you'll get rejected, you'll get abandoned. That person won't love you anymore. That person won't like you anymore. They won't want to be your friend. They won't want to be in the relationship with you. They won't support you as a family member. So the outcome could be, in a sense, quite huge. So a lot of the time we're not who our true selves, in a sense. We don't stand up for ourselves. We don't put our neck on the chopping block, so to speak, because we are terrified of the outcome. And a lot of that is because when you have done it, the outcome hasn't been great. You've lost somebody. A friend has abandoned you, or a family member, or a relationship has walked away from you. And it's easy, I know, for me to sit here and say, if that happens, you do have two options. You have the option where you trust yourself enough to think, you know what? I'm allowed to say how I feel. I'm allowed to have those parts of me that doesn't agree, that stands up for what I believe in, that sticks up for myself. Or you go into yourself and decide to almost be a shell of who you are. Be the version, in a sense, that they want you to be. And the unfortunate thing is being this version where you are empowered and you trust in yourself, can sometimes be a lonely place. Because a lot of the time, people don't want to be confronted with the truth. They don't want to be confronted with the way they behave or treat people. And a lot of the time, they've been enabled, like Meghan, Harry. They've been enabled for so long now that they truly believe they're entitled to behave the way they do. And the unfortunate thing is because a lot of people have let them do it. there's not been any consequences. And even if there's been slight ones, they've probably acted out so badly that the person's probably backed down, because unfortunately with people like Meghan and Harry, they surround themselves with people that they deem are below them. So they can manipulate, they can bully. That's why you will never see a narcissist befriend another narcissist, because it will be too much of a power struggle. That's why you will never have someone of a narcissistic personality type date a strong willed force to be reckoned with, because they can't manipulate you. They will they might attempt to see you as a challenge, but if you, like I've said this so many times in my videos, if you know who you are and that you can't be manipulated, they can't go anywhere with that. So the chances are they're not going to be interested in you. Now, I'm not by any means saying that people that get into relationships with narcissists or people of that type are not strong people. You are, but a lot of the time is that you're either somebody that's maybe a very caring nature, that you understand people that come in that seem damaged, that rescuer part of you kicks in, that caring part of you kicks in, and you believe that you can be the person that can make everything better for them, because that's how they present themselves. And so they will utilize that. But if you've ever gone into somewhere and you see, like, for example, this is why I believe that initially Meghan would have made a beeline for someone like William, because she would have seen him as a challenge. He's the top of the creme de la creme. But the thing is William was not interested in her and would have literally shut that down so quick. And then what happens then is a narcissist type will not know how to deal with that. That will create a huge insecurity in them. And then what happens then? They enact narc revenge, because you've rebuffed them. You've gone up against them, and in a sense they can't, you're impenetrable, and they don't know how to deal with that. Because they're used to winning. They have to win. And this is in their eyes, not necessarily, because at the minute I don't really see Harry and Meghan as winning, but the way they view it will be very distorted. So even with this situation with Samantha and Meghan Markle, bringing it back to that, she will see this as a win. It will not matter to her that she is putting her family through hell and back. It will not matter to her that Samantha has even done this court case in the beginning. The fact of the matter is, it's a win for her. And then you would then have the fan base, which I'm sure, I'm not on Twitter, so I don't really see the stuff that kind of comes out with them, but I'm absolutely sure that as soon as that come out, they would have been all over that like a rash. Oh, she's won again, she's, the stuff that they kind of come out with, because that's how they view things. It's winning and losing. Whereas the rest of us look at things a lot deeper than that. The outcome for Samantha would have been a vindication of all the things that her and her family have gone through. It would have been like, this would have been for her, the truth coming out. That matters. To someone like Meghan and Harry, the truth doesn't matter to them other than hiding it. And that's why I believe they're censoring the media. And so the unfortunate thing is possibly because she wanted Prince Harry to be deposed, this is possibly why, and I don't know, that maybe behind the scenes someone has stepped in and said this can't happen. Because I also think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure I read some, I did try to find it, but again, I think we're so limited here in the UK, or maybe I'm not putting in the right words. But I also think that there was something about the alleged children in there. There was something around the racism. There was something else, not just about what she'd said about her. And I think, again, this in a sense is also bringing the royal family into it. So I think, again, the royal family possibly, or whoever deals with that side of things, potentially it's a explosive situation. There could have been things being answered and brought up that perhaps they want to keep hidden, so it had to be shut down. I think props to Samantha for sticking up for herself and trying. And she should be really proud of herself for the fact that it got as far as it did. And she really did try to get this out there. I personally would not I almost like I don't want her to see that as a loss, because standing up for yourself should never be a loss. It should never be. Even if the outcome isn't desirable, it should be the fact that, you know what, I tried. You know, a lot of people don't, and there's good reasons why some people don't, because they are scared, and or like I say, the outcome for them would be devastating. Sometimes there's even violence involved, and I would not say that to anybody to bypass that, you know, because there are exceptions to the rule. But generally speaking, for people like us, standing up for yourself should never, ever, ever be wrong. But don't exhaust yourself convincing someone that doesn't want to be convinced. The main thing is you know the truth. And if people around you know you, they will know the truth and they will support you. If they choose not to, there is going to be another reason for that. It could be that they're scared of the person. And that's not easy to face. So if you're ever in a situation where you are, and as you know, I've had my fair share of bullying, especially here when I started kind of doing the channel, and I went through a terrible time on Twitter, hence why I'm not on there now. And a lot of people would see me coming off Twitter as, oh, you're giving in to the bullies. But the way I view that is, does Twitter matter to me? No. Does my mental health matter to me? Yes. Which one do I want more? Do I want Twitter more? Do I want my mental health more? Well, I want my mental health more. So I shut it down. And when you don't see it, it doesn't affect you. And of course, then you're dealing with people then possibly sometimes emailing you, or then sometimes it was affecting on the channel. And then I learned how to block people or put things in the held for review folder so I didn't have to see it. You can put in like these buzz block words, and so they don't come up. And so slowly, it started to die off. And then what you then say, or what I said, is to people, I don't want to know. If you read anything about me that's negative, if you're choosing to believe it, that's your choice. But I don't want to know about it. Best will in the world. I appreciate that you think you're trying to help. I don't want any emails. I don't want anything about anything to do with what was going on. And for the most part, it stayed that way. And of course, you know, as it is, you still get the odd thing, and I still get the odd thing that comes through, but it doesn't affect me the way it did, because I'd never experienced anything like this in my life, especially at the age I am now. I suppose maybe I just felt that this was something that happened, especially online, to younger people. But obviously realising that it can happen to anybody, myself included. I never thought that I would be affected by something like this, because I'm somebody that stands up to people who bully. But I think it was more the fact that because I'm a therapist, in a way, I was muted to some degree. Because if I say what I really might want to say, like if someone did it to me in the street, I wouldn't be therapist me, I'd be me, and I'd be just like, well, I'll probably tell them to do one in probably a little bit more expletive terms, or I just wouldn't take any notice. But when you're getting it online, and these are people that, well, some people I knew that were doing it, and some people were anonymous that were doing it, it's really hard. So when you're looking at someone like Samantha, who has suddenly been thrust into the online world, thrust into the media, going from someone that really nobody really knew, because even when she was Meghan Markle in Suits, no one really knew her sister or her family, and suddenly she's thrown into this online world, the media, and attacked for her character, attacked for the way she looks, attacked for the fact that she struggles, attacked for then watching her family be attacked. I can only imagine how that must have been for her. And yet there was no, apart from the odd few people, there was no real compassion for the fact that this family had been thrust into the spotlight, and nobody was kind of going, hang on a minute, where's their protection? Where's the support for them? They didn't ask for this. This wasn't their fault. And then the stuff with the wedding where Thomas couldn't come to the wedding because he had 2 heart attacks. And then, but it's kind of bypasses, oh, like, well, he did, you know what, he never turned up for the wedding. This poor man was in hospital, and yet somehow he was the villain. And this is kind of how things are now. It's like you can be attacked and vilified, and but somehow the person that's doing it is the victim. So yeah, I do feel for her. And like I say, and if you are somebody that's at this moment being bullied by somebody, really kind of maybe look at how you're being bullied, why you're being bullied. Ask yourself, is there any truth to any of it? In which case, then that's only the things that you can change and work on. You can only do those things. You can't change or work on anything that's not true and not there. And how much do you want this person in your life? Is it important for you to have this person in your life? And if you do, then you've got to find a way to balance that out. If it's not somebody that you're interested in, or you're concerned that other people are going to listen to what they're saying, then ask yourself this, especially if this is friends, do you want people in your life that are going to believe a lie about you? Because that says to me that they don't know you very well. So, and I really hope that when you watch these videos, that you see the value in who you are, because that's what I want for you. I want you to see the value for who you are. And I read so many heartbreaking comments of people that are abused by relationships or family members or children or whoever. And yet you have such low self-esteem and so low self-worth, like you feel like you deserve it, and you really, really don't. And if I can't stress this enough, and if my videos can do one thing, is create you to feel that you are not somebody's verbal punch bag. You are not somebody's anything punch bag. You deserve better than that. You know, and I want, yeah, if I could make one wish, it would be for people to see that. Anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've actually managed to get through this without having a hot flush. I thought one was coming on earlier. I had my fan ready. But it didn't manifest. So, and I will say, for people who send me all these tips and tools, somebody sent me a tip to start taking magnesium oxide. Now there's different variants, magnesium citrate, and there's lots of others, but someone said, and I bless you, love the person who said it, and I'm sorry that I've forgotten your name, magnesium oxide. So for any of you that are struggling or about to kind of struggle with these hot flushes, sage, magnesium oxide, soy, if you can take it. Obviously, please bear in mind that, you know, please check, because even though these work for me, they might not work for you, but I'm just giving you tips, and hopefully, but look into them first, obviously. And black cohosh. I mean, these are herbal things, so they should be okay, but in case you've got allergic reaction to them. But yeah, they've actually helped me, so that's a win. I'm taking the win. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't checked out my other channel, I appreciate that it's not always for everybody. You might not feel the need to have any therapeutic tips and tools, but these are not just therapy related things. I'm literally going to cover everything. You know, maybe even if it's like to do with work, it's to do with family, friends, you know, literally anything that might come up as an issue, I'm going to cover that. So even if it's one video, or it might be more than one, but please go across, subscribe to the channel, because I am now at over my 1,000 subscribers, which I'm so grateful for. Thank you so much. But also I need to now get my viewing hours up. I think I need 4,000 viewing hours. So if you go in and even if you just watch one video, stick a comment in, because that really does help the algorithm. You know the drill, because I get you to do it on here. So if you can, that would be really great. And it would really help me, because then what I can do is, even though, like I've said to you before, I work with, at the moment, 5 clients at a time for free. They don't pay anything. Because these are ones that struggle financially, they have no money, or for various reasons in that sense. And then at times I will also offer low cost therapy. So some pay me a little something that they can afford. But the videos, they're for free. So they will hopefully then, the people that I can't get to at this moment in time, maybe it will help them. So what you're doing by getting that circulated is hopefully then paying it forward to help other people that might see those videos. And I know I'm waffling on a bit now, but you know, you get the drill. So yeah. So thank you so much, and I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Like I say, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and a subscribe if you haven't. Share it if you will. Any links that you need will be in the description box below. That is to my PO box, my email, whether you want to buy some of my bubble merchandise, all the tea and therapy stuff. You can buy a journal in there because I always recommend a journal. What else? You can become a member, a Patreon. You can follow me on TikTok. You can follow me on, well, actually it's the Just Therapy one on TikTok. On Instagram, I'm on Instagram, Just Therapy UK, and also Tea and Therapy. Just, yeah, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's all there. It's all there. Go and check out the description. Thank you so much to all the people that have followed my son. Again, he's very appreciative of that. And yeah, so I'm just going to stop rambling on now. No, one more thing. I know there's many of you probably going, ugh. Few people have picked up on the fact that I don't look directly at the camera. I personally don't see it myself. I don't really understand what it is, because on an iPhone, which is what I record from, the camera is like either at the left or the right. Now, if I looked at the camera there, I'm assuming that I'm looking right. I'm not, because to me, it feels like I'm looking straight on. So I don't know what other people see, but it's not natural for me to just kind of be talking to this like this, where the camera is. It's just not natural. And obviously, as I look at the screen, I'm seeing like my view behind me and myself. So I do apologise if this affects the viewing, but there really isn't, and unless I got a whole new camera, which right now I'd rather not do. There's really not much I can do about that. So the only thing I can potentially say is if this does irritate you, then perhaps just listen to my voice. My voice, you know, as a kind of recording. I don't know, but anyway, I hope you are having a wonderful day, and I, as always, love you, appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. Mwah. Bye.